So now that you've assembled all of the data from the optimization and backtest, you're ready to calibrate the discretionary parameters. This is done in the same way you conducted the calibration of the fixed parameters, except the only difference is that you may need to try each set of fixed parameters in conjunction with the discretionary ones. So to illustrate, let's say that of the 4 tests you recorded in the results, you think that the last one might be the best in terms of what the fixed parameters could produce. Your first task is to open the EA properties box, uncheck all of the parameters, and then enter the fixed parameters from this 4th test. Next, you're going to open the Settings tab and enter a 3 to 4 month time frame in the from and to dates. And this should overlap the fixed parameters calibration while still having at least 1 month window for forward testing. So let's say, for example, the calibration period was from January 1st, 2010 to June 30th, 2010. If today's date is November 27th, the calibration period for the discretionary parameters must be a minimum of 4 months prior. So the illustration we provide depicts this timeline. For your test dates, you're going to select May 1st, 2010 to September 30th, 2010. These dates are recent enough for your current calibration needs, and they also offer a 2-month forward testing window. So next, you're going to check all 4 discretionary parameter boxes and run the calibration. After cycling through the profit factor, and expected payoff columns, you're going to settle on 2 candidates, Pass 111 and Pass 172. You're going to backtest both, but settle on Pass 111 because the average profit for Pass 172 is smaller than the average loss. You now need to test the EA's performance in uncharted territory. So to do so, you open the Settings tab and add the forward testing window to the testing dates, run the backtest, and then record the results. In comparing the calibrated results with the forward test, you're going to find that the forward test performance is slightly weaker, so you're going to decide to move on to the next most likely set of parameters. Again, you begin the process by opening up the EA properties box, inputting the fixed parameters, and making sure their boxes are unchecked. After doing so, you check the boxes for the discretionary parameters and close the EA properties box. Reset the testing dates from May 1st, 2010 to September 30th, 2010 and run the calibration. Again, after sorting through the profit factor, and expected payoff columns, you're going to settle on 2 candidates, Pass 74 and Pass 120. You run the backtest on both of them and select Pass 120 because its average win rate is much higher than that of Pass 74. So you adjust the testing period to include the forward testing window and then record the results. The equity curve shows a slight drawdown within the forward testing window. However, there are 3 previous drawdown periods followed by a complete recovery. In comparing the calibrated results with the forward test, you find the forward test performance is considerably weaker in terms of relative drawdown percent, win percentage, and consecutive losses. You decide to move on to the next most likely set of parameters and conduct the remaining 2 calibrations in the manner we've already described. Make sure you record all of your results in a table. Your one remaining task is to make the best choice you can based off the data in this table. Those are the settings you're going to use in live trading. You should select the last calibration run because the forward test results are the only ones that show gains in most of the columns. So that's how you complete the initial calibration. The steps for recalibrating your EA follow the same pattern of those of the initial calibration, only with a couple of differences. Every 3 to 4 weeks, recalibrate only the discretionary parameters, following the directions we provided for doing so. Every 4 to 6 months, recalibrate the entire set of parameters as outlined in this article. So this article concludes our series on backtesting, an area that's often neglected mostly because of the time it takes and the discipline it takes. Most traders would rather invest that in other areas. However, we hope that through these articles, you've gained some insights into the theory and practice of backtesting, as well as its benefits and limitations.